one of the most important things when you're designing the home is actually what you see when you arrive. At the point when you arrive, it's actually what the perception that you create of the home when you're even on the outside. So when you're on the outside and it is voluminous and it's open and it's airy and there's lots of glass, your perception immediately of the inside of the house is that it's big and it's open and it's airy, and it creates a kind of like excitement on the inside. What we love to do is actually create high entrance volume. So we generally do like 1.5 volume entrance as you arrive on the outside of the home, so that we also don't want to make it too big, because if it's too big, then the elements come into that area and you get rain penetration onto your front porch and onto your door, etc. So we're trying to keep the area there limited as far as the height, so that we've got that beautiful entry which creates that excitement on the outside. And then as you progress into the home, that is when we really open up the home to you, so that you get the feeling of that openness and airiness. We love it to be light and bright. We also like to pull your views through the home and not just necessarily stop on one element as you enter. So generally, specifically in this design, what we did is we restricted the width of the entrance, but as you enter, it then opens up into a double volume entrance hall with an atrium in the center, and you have got views through onto your patio area as you enter. So it pulls your view through the home, but when you enter, it immediately pulls your eyes up as you enter into that space. As you go through, because of the patio that we created there and the beautiful garden that we've got with the views there, it actually pulls you through into that area, because this is a very entertainment style designed home. So the house is very open plan on the inside. Every space has got its own designation, and also it is defined within the bulkheads and the way that we identify the spaces. So even though your dining room is in an open plan area with your kitchen and your family room area, the dining room is a double volume area, so it immediately defines that as an area. It pulls your eye up into that double volume with the suspended lighting that we've got in that area. We've got a beautiful feature wall behind the dining area, so every element is balanced within its own. Even though you are within one big area, the way that we break up the spaces and the way that we use the volumes within the spaces identify those spaces within their own surrounds. With the way that we've positioned your patio, actually creates a beautiful entertainment area, because from your kitchen you can serve directly to the patio because they are virtually adjoining to each other. Your dining room, once it's opened up from the patio, actually becomes an extension of your patio from the outside to the inside. So that area can then be utilized for the inside as a formal dining, or when you are entertaining and you open up your patio doors, that area is then an extension of the space on the outside. So it starts blurring that boundary of spatial use from inside to outside, where we get that flow of space where it becomes difficult to distinguish, am I inside or am I outside now? Obviously, because we are always restricted in size of the home as far as budget is concerned, we try and see how we can design the home in as most usable, friendly way that it can be utilized as an inside house, or it can be as an extension of the inside-outside space. what we did with this particular home is we had mono-pitch roofs, but we introduced windows at the top. So the mono-pitch roofs seem like they're floating as you look at it from a distance. And then further to that, what we have done is we have reduced the width of the concrete beams that are actually around the top of the home. So we've got cantilever concrete slabs, and we have tapered those slabs at the top so that it gives a very thin appearance on the outside. And what it does, it takes the heaviness of the roof away and creates a very delicate, thin concrete tapered slab, which has a very thin edge. And that makes the spaces feel higher, and it gives it a very delicate feel with like a floating style of roof over the top of the residence. This is very similar to the wind pocket project that we presented in last week. So it has similar characteristics and features, but it really gives a very beautiful aesthetic from the outside, and it's very different to what you see with a lot of the architecture that's happening at the moment. At our front entrance, because we have this tapered slab at the top, we actually return the tapered slab from the top down into the ground, so it actually grounds that entrance. So it gives you this upside down L shape that actually connects into the ground. And what we did at this point is we actually let it go into a water feature. So that column actually returns into a water feature. That water feature then is brought very close to your entrance walkway as you come in, and it introduces a whole new dynamic at that entrance where you've got the water, you've got this very strong column that goes from the top and it blends into your roof, which gives you that upside down feel, which creates the cover at the entrance, but it also emphasizes the architecture and the aesthetics which we are bringing into the rest of the house. The home is planned in a very linear fashion. The reason we did that is we are trying to get as much north frontage as possible. So we are fortunate in the configuration of the land, that the land was actually quite a wide, narrow stand, and the orientation was facing almost due north. So we tried to fit as many spaces as we could onto the front. And in this particular home, we managed to fit 4 bedrooms north facing, plus your family room and your lounge and your covered patio, all of them actually facing onto the northern side, which is obviously fantastic from from light, also from heat, and also from a viewpoint of view in this particular home. This home, also being coastal, it's got beautiful mountainous views, and we utilized this feature of introducing as many of the rooms on the northern side as possible. And in the next project, which I'm going to show you, I will show you how we achieved that same effect but slightly differently, as we had the north in a oblique direction, and it made it a bit more complicated to work with the northern views on that side, but I will show you exactly how we did that in the next view. A couple of features ago, we had explained to you some of the challenges that go hand in hand with atriums and gardens on the inside, and also in being dynamic enough to be able to change and view when there are situations that you need to try and overcome with atriums. So in this particular atrium, we had a double volume height atrium that goes all the way to the top. It was obviously open through the slabs at the top. And when we started getting the feedback from the specialists as far as the windows were concerned, because we had double glazed windows here, they needed very large supports in order to support the double volume glass that we've got in this area. And the supports started dominating this particular atrium, and when you entered, what you would see is mainly the supports and not the feature of the atrium. So even though the glass in this would have been a nice feature, we felt that it actually took away from what we were trying to achieve within this space, and it really started cluttering this space with the sizes of the columns that we required in this area. So we thought how we can best utilize the atrium and how we can make it a better feature by doing away with the glass incomplete, and then by taking that glass away, effectively putting a skylight over the void that was in the slab over this area, so that we can still get the light that we were looking for in that area. And by doing that, now we have got a much bigger space on the center there, where you've got the double volume of your atrium in that space, you've got the staircase going around it, and we have got the skylight which is over that area. And I'll show you just what that looked like in some of the video footage that we've got from that. In order to demonstrate to the client exactly what this would look like, we actually rendered the images with the supports in the actual sizes into our 3D render to show them exactly what they would see with the glass in place. And then we did renders with removing the glass and putting the skylight over that area. If you've enjoyed this video, pop us a like, subscribe, and please follow us for any future updates on projects that we are going to do, and any reveals, and also the challenges that we face and how we overcome those. I will see you on the next video.